Greetings, pioneers, and welcome back to Satisfactory.
Dan, who are you talking to?
The audience. I always talk to them. You've been here every time.
What audience? I don't see an audience.
Where last time we built this whale thingy.
You have a real issue then.
Today, we're gonna build another thingy.
So what are we gonna do next then?
Well, I don't know. Why don't you come up with a plan for change? Do you know how hard this is to, tell the audience what we're doing and then come up with a plan right on the spot every time?
Dan, don't worry about it, man.
Well, what's your plan then?
If we unlock the next tier, we could get that sweet, sweet hoverpack you've been dreaming about.
True, that is rather tempting. I think we have time to build that. We could do some arrangement, and we could pull the supplies from the hub, and we could make a nice clean. Yeah, it might take a little time though.
Or, we could poop it.
Never say that word. That word brings evil to this world. We are not doing that. No.
You know you want it. Give me the button, I'll take care of it.
No, you can't tempt me. No. I'll never let you have it.
God, is he really gonna make me chase him? The audience demands a boop.
Oh, hey, be sure to subscribe. And also stick around to the end for the fun showcase and funny bloopers. Oh, here he comes. Gotta go. Gotta keep it away. Can't let him have the boot button. Oh no!
Gotcha.
Oh, my head. What happened? Oh, what is going on?
Hey, Dan! Dan, come and look over here.
Oh,
this is
man.
the worst, best factory I've ever seen.
Huh? No! Bruh, this is haunting. Even the rain is crying. This is what's going on. This is like a dirty sink full of dishes, and nobody wants to do the dishes. Ah!
Well, folks, I guess it's up to me to do the hard work again. Anyhow, today we're gonna build a huge a heavy modular frame factory. Let's get started.
Well, the boop did its job. With that out of the way, we now have unlocked tier 7 and 8. The next step is to unlock bauxite refinement so we can make aluminum, which is what we need to unlock the hover pack. The closest bauxite node to us is actually the one up there. How are we gonna get up there? It's a temporary ramp. It'll work for now. Now we just need to get a truck up there. Now, I'm pretty sure the big old honkin' truck can handle a 4-meter ramp. Come on, truck, you can do it. Come on. No, wait. Why are you going backwards? Nope. Oh, okay, maybe we need another plan. The tractor's got to be able to do it, I guess, then. It didn't used to be able to. Well, it kind of looks like it can, but I think it'll take the rest of the episode to get up there, so let's try something else. Maybe the little go-kart will work? Oh, this ramp's got nothing on this go-kart. Nothing! This car can do this all day. Maybe we can just run a bunch of these. That might work. Okay, bad idea. This is causing a bit of a traffic jam in this busy intersection. I think we'll need to come up with a better idea. Oh, the Explorer works fine. Why didn't I think of this before? And with the resources out of the way, we can get started on a temporary aluminum plant. Didn't I grab motors? I didn't. I was going over there to grab. How can I be this absent-minded? All right, first up, we have 2 refineries that are creating our aluminum solution. They take bauxite and water. And we have our aluminum scrap refinery, which is taking aluminum solution and coal. And the water that it's outputting, we're going to send back to the other 2 refineries to recycle it. Since we haven't set up a truck to bring in silica yet, I am putting the silica in this one container, which we'll use temporarily until we have that set up. We'll lay down 3 foundries to handle our aluminum ingots. The silica byproduct that we're getting from our aluminum solution refineries, we're going to direct to the very first foundry. Then the aluminum scrap is going to be split between all three of them. And then the silica that's coming from our truck or our container, in this case, will go to the other two. This simply prevents the silica that's coming in from somewhere else from interfering with the byproduct that we're getting from the aluminum solution production. And a couple of constructors and assemblers later, and we're outputting aluminum sheets and casings to some containers. Let's go turn it on. I know we kind of breezed through that, but we're going to do a bigger aluminum plant later. If you'd like me to do a guide to give you more detailed instructions on how to do an aluminum plant like this, let me know in the comments, and I'll be sure to do that. Now all we need is to wait for some aluminum sheets and casings to build up, and we can go unlock a hover pack. And send. And we're flying. Yes, finally. No more running around. We can finally do some work from the air. Oh, this is going to be a time saver. All right, time to move on to the next project. That said, before we get started on heavy modular frames, we kind of need an alternate recipe, which means only one thing. Time to go on a hard drive hunt. But first, we need some music. Let's see what we got. All right, now with the hard drive hunt out of the way, there's one thing I'd like to take care of, which is cleaning up this little monster before we get started. But first... Whoop! Oh, I regret nothing. Oh. All right, so I've cleaned up this temporary mess of a factory into something useful, which we're now making heavy modular frames, computers, crystal oscillators, and radio control units. And we'll replace these as soon as we actually have factories that do the same thing, but this will help us build stuff, especially this, which will allow us to build blenders, which we'll need in the future. So, with that out of the way, we're going to get started on the next project, which is heavy modular frames, which we're going to get started on right over here. And for one major primary reason, and that is because 2 of the 4 items we need for our heavy modular frames are right here in our steel factory. And a 3rd item is concrete, which we can actually produce from that limestone right there. Which means all we need to do is bring in modular frames, and we're good. Simple, easy. Since it's a simple factory, I think we can play a little bit with form over function today. Let me get a platform laid out here, and we'll get started. All right, I got a platform here, and I created this diagonal walls, and I went ahead and started adding these pillars to the edge, which I like, which was just taking a diagonal beam from the top to the bottom and then running a pillar down. Super easy. But over here, I used these tall walls to get over the rock, and I didn't know if this was going to work because it was right next to my road. And of course, when I ran it down, you can see it crosses over, and that's not what we want.
Even if I do it from here, you know, it still sticks out. So I need this to not be in the barrier. So this is where I had to get a little creative and draw upon my roads videos. So if you've seen the roads videos, this is where we can do the same thing. So Jano method, freeform, down to there. We can add a pillar up here. We're trying to get it to that corner right there. So then we can get rid of this, Might have to get rid of this. And get rid of this guy. Then we can go from the bottom here. It's kind of like the Jano method. It's the simple version. We can get rid of the beam, get rid of these. It's going to be a bit of an overlap, but as you can see, it just touches the corner. Now, obviously, these have a beveled corner, so it does this, but I was like, this is fine. I can live with this.
Roads guide, not just for vehicles. All right, starting to look pretty good. This is a good foundation.
And we can have higher up here, multi-level. So this can be the input level or the truck stations, and then we can build the factory up there.
Since folks like to do fancy things with their modular frames factories, I think we'll do something similar. And we'll put a little statue right here. So we're going to drop a foundation down at a 45-degree angle like this. Now with a little diagonal platform like this, we're going to grab ourselves some beams and then start making a cube. Go up like this. Finish off the top. Give it some color. Start adding these little double connectors. Change the base to some slopes. And gorgeous! That looks wonderful. On to the next thing. Okay, now with the 2 truck stations set up, we can move on to the main part of the factory. One thing I want to do is have the wall of this factory kind of follow the cliff. So we're going to use the catwalk method to do a curve. And we're going to try to get this thing to follow along this cliff wall so we can build a wall that looks pretty cool. Since this is a heavy modular frame build, I want something heavy. So we're going to try using these pillars for our wall. Just run this along this way. And on the curved part, we can actually use the same pillar method that I spoke about in my roads guide for the roadside walls, but we're using these large pillars, and that's just the quick method. And it just lines up really nice thanks to the way the ramp turns work out. And this makes it really easy to set up a curved sidewall with pillars. Glorious! That looks fan-freaking-tastic. Totally going with this. Now we just need to turn it into a wall. Got our top done. Now we're going to add some beams every 8 meters so we can use windows. Oh, this is starting to look fantastic. But I think we need to get started on the inside and the other walls. Took a few tries, but I got a nice little stairway behind these truck stations to get up into the factory. If you'd like to know how to do this, let me know. I demonstrated it on the live stream. I could also do a little tutorial on it. There's also other ones out there on YouTube you can find. Pretty easy. Since we got lots of room in here, we're going to try something interesting with the constructors we need for concrete. So I'm going to go ahead and put some beams here. We're going to elevate a platform. We're going to put our constructors on it. And then we're going to do some fun little work to look like the beams are actually supporting it. We add our inputs and outputs. And it looks pretty darn cool. Might have to move it, but I like it. I like it a lot. And after a little bit of time, I went ahead and got started on both the roof and also the front of the building, but I can't say I'm a fan of either of them. So I need to go play with it a little bit further. Just a second. All right, so things have progressed a little bit. I've added a little bit of color instead of using the boring gray that I was using. We put the windows deeper in and added a lattice, actually at the suggestion of Bits when he showed up. For the roof, I actually went with pillars. I decided to give it a shot, and I just wanted to see what it looked like instead of the flat tar roofs, and I ended up liking the way it turned out. We went ahead and colored it just like the other beams to see how it was. Hellraiser came in and added this little skylight that looked open, that looked really, really good. And we started adding the manufacturers for the heavy modular frames up here to see if it would work on top of this cliff instead of trying to fit them in the building. We just came up with this little like beam setting to have the belts line up with to go straight into the machines, and we really, really like it. So at this point, what we need to do is get the resources belted in and then split among the machines. So I'm going to have Hellraiser get started on the belting part in here, and I'm going to go get the resources outside, which will involve modifying the steel output truck stations a little bit, running some of the belts underneath the floor, and then up into the factory. Let's see what Hellraiser's doing. Oh, this is an interesting setup. It looks like he might be planning to have the belts come from deeper in the factory, split and down a wall of belts maybe? I think I know what he's doing. Okay, maybe I have no idea what he's doing. All right, we're just going to let Hellraiser do Hellraiser things, and we're going to finish bringing these belts over. I totally stole these parking stops from an MGS at Genesis video. And lastly, I just need to output the heavy modular frames from these manufacturers up here down to the lower floor and out to the truck station. That said, to get the modular frames in here, I need to get a truck going. And to get a truck going, I need fuel. So we're going to do the unthinkable. And just drag this right over. Okay, so apparently the game did not like that. So we're going to be bringing coal in the proper way. Taking a quick peek at what Hellraiser's working on before I go run the truck route. I gotta say, it's starting to look pretty darn impressive. I like it. He's just kind of got to fix these windows. But hey, let's go run a truck. And one uneventful truck ride later, we are done. It's time to turn this on and get it running. That's what I like to see. Machines taking materials and producing heavy modular frames. We're using the heavy encased frame recipe today, which means we're replacing screws with concrete, which makes this a little easier. And now with everything running, we just got to finish decorating and we can do our showcase.
split the channels. No, I'm
Yeah,
just
but I was
ignoring you.
bobbling my head at the same time, going.
Stop wobbling. Good. Yeah. What are we gonna do next? Could that work?
Super excited.
Well, if we unlock the next tier, could get that sweet hover pack that we've that.
Got it. Great idea. Let's go.
Or a muffled talk because we're talking through our helmets.
Quack. I meant we built this whale thingy. I meant not the whale thingy.
Yes.
Yes. Yes. I screwed up. Take 27. Let's go. Whoopee! Darn it.
That's a bit too happy, I think. But
You suck.
thanks.